Yes, ma'am. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Amruta, and it's my absolute pleasure today to welcome you all to this day four of 2 week short term training program on AI and ML coding using generative AI, which is powered by Indian Science Technology and Engineering Facilities, ma'am. So, this program is being conducted from March 24th to April 4th, and we are delighted to have you all on this exciting journey. So, let's recap yesterday's session. It's all about linear regression and utilization of generative AI implementation. So today we are going to dive deeper into advanced facts using generative AI. So before we begin, here are some important guidelines to ensure smooth and effective session. So while joining, please share your name and affiliation in the live chat. Use a laptop for better learning experience, especially during hands-on activities with our experts. Filling up the feedback form during each session is compulsory. This form link will be shared in the YouTube chat box. So let me take a moment to introduce Academy Innova World. So Academy Innova World is dedicated to fostering interdisciplinary learning and research through advanced training programs, webinars, workshops, and industry collaborations. Our mission is to bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and a practical implementation, empowering learners to excel in emerging technological domains. So it's an honor to welcome our Chief Technology Officer, Pulak Kumar Dhara, a distinguished technologist and a former assistant scientist at Department of Atomic Energy. His expertise and contributions in research and development have been shaping our organization's vision and growth. I also extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed guest for today's session, Dr. Arunava Majumdar. We are grateful for his presence and look forward to his valuable insights as he takes over today's session. So, wishing you all a great learning experience. And with that, let us move ahead with today's session. I hope you all have a productive and enriching learning experience. Over to Dr. Arunava, sir. Please, sir.
Good evening, everyone. And
Good evening.
yes, so welcome all of you again on the session with the coding with generative AI. And we will learn today some coding and how we can generate different codes. In basically in Python. Okay, because when we type any prompt in generative AI, any kind of generative AI, whether it is ChatGPT or DeepSeek or anywhere else, initially they generate the Python code. If you don't mention anything that is any particular name of any software or name of any platform, they generally use the Python codes only. So that's why I use first I start with the Python codings if necessary, and I will go for some other coding language or other languages also. So yesterday I means suggested all of you to install the VS Code or Anaconda. So can you please tell me in the chat box, YouTube chat box, that how many of you installed that in your computer? So that for the smooth conduction of this course, it's an interact and make the session more interactive. Okay, I need your cooperation so that if I generate something, okay, you also generate the same code and you can also run the code in your means platform also, so that you can easily understand and easily you can verify that how it works. So please tell me in the chat box that how many of you have installed. Okay. Yes, please, means, can you please tell me in the chat box how many responses are there? Okay. What is pay to win? Okay, so let me start the session then. Okay, let the other people join then. Um, okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, today I will show you some of the coding experiences and very basic. I start with very basic things that when how we can means draw the regression line, we can plot the regression line, how we can generate the correlation matrix. Okay, and so far whatever the things I will means I'm going to discuss, this is all for the regression purpose only. Okay, I'm not right now shifting to the classification purpose, because classification it will it the metrics of the classification model, that how the model is a best fit model or not, and how to check the accuracy. The metrics are different for classification. Okay, so let me start with by generating the code with generative AI. Okay, another thing I must say that apart from ChatGPT, there are other platforms also, okay, to generate the code, and that platforms are, let me show you that one also. DeepSeek, okay, DeepSeek R1, Gemini, which is the Google-based AI platform. Okay, so and yes, another one is also there, but they are using the same model basically as GPT, Black Box AI. Okay, so I have opened four different websites here. One is ChatGPT, another one is DeepSeek, Gemini, and Blackbox AI. And I will differentiate that how they are working. So first GPT model I am using. Okay, in GPT model, whenever I am writing anything, any prompt, it will easily generate the code. DeepSeek also they will generate the code, but the problem of DeepSeek right now, because means in GPT it is much more advanced, as I have seen. Okay, whatever the according to my experience and knowledge, and if you upload something in this in GPT, Chat GPT, okay, that uploading the um, size of the file, okay, if it is little larger, then also the Chat GPT can easily handle that one. However, the DeepSeek, in that case, if you upload a slightly larger file, the DeepSeek may not upload that file and may not generate the proper answer what you require. In Gemini, previously the upload button was not there, but right now they have added this upload button. Okay, so however, I have do not have very much experience in Gemini. Okay, so let's see. Today also means whatever, because these models all are the learning models. They are means evolving every day. Okay, so let's see what happens today. Okay, let us generate first. Yes, first let me open uh, the file that is VS Code because I am using VS Code. Yesterday, I already have discussed about what are the different platforms where you can run the Python code. So VS Code is one of them. Okay, so I am opening a new file now. Okay, here in file, you can create a new file here. Okay, after creating a new file, you can, there are file type, which file type you can select it. You can select a text file simply. You can select the Python file, or also you can select the Jupyter notebook. Okay, I'm not selecting here the Jupyter notebook because that each and every cell, there is a cell based. Each and every cell you have to means use different code there. And if I select the Python file, because that will works as a script file, so better to use Python file here. And you can see script is generated now. Okay, so now I'm going to start with very basic Python means things, some coding in Python. There are many different programs, different programming languages. They have different kinds of syntaxes. So Python also are having different syntaxes. Okay, if you want to print something, there is a syntax. Okay, if you want to generate some matrix, there is another syntax, and which may differ from C, C++, or MATLAB, or in Python. That syntax may differ. I'm not going to talk about the difference between the syntaxes because this is not the class of the coding. Okay, so because I'm giving the training of only the usage of generative AI. Okay, so let's me go to the chat GPT now, and I am asking chat GPT to generate something for me. Okay, let's always remember, prompt is very important. As you type, okay, whatever you type, the code, whatever you type, according to your typing only, according to your prompt only, the coding will be generated. Okay, so your prompt will be as much as efficient to generate your desired code. Okay, so let me generate the code for very simple, any kind of, let us suppose I am giving any a single means one variable data set with just one variable, one independent variable, and one dependent variable. Okay, so I will type here generate a code with one independent and one dependent variable. Okay, generate a code for linear regression with one dependent and one independent variable with um, accuracy display. Okay, so what does it mean? This prompt, it is saying the ChatGPT to generate a code for linear regression with one dependent and one independent and one dependent variable. Okay, so that is only X and Y, that's all. Okay, with accuracy display. Accuracy display means what are the accuracy I already discussed in the last session. The accuracies are R square value, MAE, MAC, RMSE. Okay, let's see what it generates now. Okay, look, now this code has been generated. And you can see the coding here, that how many libraries they are using now. They have used NumPy. Okay, I already means explained last class that how many Python libraries are there. Okay, and NumPy. What is NumPy as NP? It means that NumPy is the name of the library. NP is a name of a variable what we are using. As NP means we are just like we are naming the library, and we will call this NumPy library as NP throughout the program. Okay, you can see here NP dot random. Okay, NP dot random here. You can see that. Okay, so NP dot NP, and why we are using NP? Because we don't use the name NumPy everywhere in the model. We just use the name NP. Okay, so that is why this is the way we can means replace the name NumPy with NP. Similarly, matplotlib, another means library is there. Now in matplotlib, there is another inside the matplotlib there is another library which is called subcategory, which is called the pyplot. And this pyplot we are matplotlib dot pyplot we are calling as PLT. PLT is our given name. You can change this name also, but generally we are using this some generalized name already have been created, that is why we are using this. Third one is sklearn library. Now sklearn, under this sklearn there is another subcategory which is called the model selection, and under this sklearn model selection we are importing we are importing the train test split. This is the function train test split. Okay, what is test split? I will explain one by one. Now for linear regression, the library also sklearn is the library, sklearn dot linear model. Now under this sklearn linear model is another library, and where we are importing the function linear regression. Okay, so now look at this. Import, it means we are importing something, means importing from external sources. We are importing something to our coding. Okay, our platform. Okay, as means we are giving some name to that one. Okay, now the last one import, which is having look at this train test split, it is a function. Linear regression, it is a function, not a library. Under the library sklearn dot linear model, linear regression is there. Now art to score, this is another function. PLT is not a function, NP is not a function. Okay, NP is the same library NumPy, where we're calling the NumPy as NP and nothing else. Okay, so now I'm going to give you this one. Since we have not supplied any data, okay, to the program, to this program, because we did not use any kind of um, the data set, any kind of Excel or CSV data set. So that is why we have generated some data set here, and you can see np dot random dot seed 42. Okay, what is this random? We are generating the random numbers here. Okay, so generate synthetic data, it means we are generating the random numbers. Okay, similarly x, okay, and y, both you can see the random numbers with 100 samples. Okay, so 100 is the number of rows, and here also 100 number of rows, because x and y, they of course they will be having same number of samples. It means the number of rows must be same for x and y. So we are generating 100 samples there. All values are randomly generated. That is why we have used random dot rand. Okay, now look at this np dot random dot rand. What does it mean? It means that np means it is defining the numpy library. Under this numpy there is another one which is called random, and under random there is another one which is called rand function. So rand is a function. Whenever use the bracket, we use the bracket, it defines the function. So after the rand we are using these brackets. Bracket means it seems a function. Okay, rand is a function, rand n is also a function. Okay, so now another one, split data into training and testing sets. Now what does it mean? It means that now here I need to make you understand with some discussion, uh, otherwise you can't understand this one. Is my screen visible? The screen visible? Right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there are 100 data sets now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 100. This is serial number. Okay, this let us suppose 1, 3, 5. Okay, 7, 10, 15, 25, and so on. 100 data sets are there. Similarly, y is also having some data like 3, 15, 20, uh, 30, 31, 35, and so on. Okay, so 100 x data up to hundreds. Okay, so I'm not writing the 100, it will make confusion. Okay, so 100 x data and 100 y data is there. Now to learn the model, what we are doing, we are using, so how many actual data is there? Actual data is 1, 3 is how many points? 100 different points are there. First point is 1, 3. Second point is 3, comma 15. Third point is 5, comma 20. Fourth point is 7, comma 30, and so on. So like this 100 points are there. Okay, so these points we are using, we don't use all the points to make the linear equation y equal to a plus bx. What is y equal to a plus bx? I already have means discussed in the yesterday's class that y equal to a plus bx is the linear relation, means linear regression. Okay, so you can use all the data, 100 data, to generate this relation, means this model. But generally what we do, we split the data. We don't use the entire data, only we use the 80% of them to learn. Okay, what is learning? Learning means to make this model. This model is called basically the learning model. And there are 100 data. We will use randomly, we choose any 80 of them, 80 of them to make this linear equation. And rest of the 20% means 20 data. Okay, rest of the 20, okay, rest of the 20 we keep this for testing. Okay, now what type of test means, let us suppose 80% data means, let us suppose randomly we have chosen any 80 of them. There are 100 points are there, any 80 of them we have chosen, and we make a equation. Our equation, it looks like y equal to suppose 2x plus 3. Okay, now we will select randomly any 20% of them. Okay, any 20% of them to test this model. It means that let us suppose uh, this 730. we have chosen to test it. Okay, 730 means we will put x equal to 7 here, and we find what is the value of y. So x equal to 7 means 7 into 2, 14 plus 3. What is this? 14 plus 3, 17. Now, what is the value, y value here? 30. But what is the y value here? We are getting 17. Okay, so it makes a difference. This difference, with this difference, we will then calculate MAE, or mean absolute error, or mean squared, MAC, mean squared error, RMAC, okay, root mean squared error. We will next calculate later. We will calculate them later. Okay, so basically to make this model, we don't use the entire data. We will use a part of them, okay, to learn. And then rest of the 20% data, randomly we will select them to test the data, to test this model. Okay, I think it is now clear to all of you. Now you go to the code again. So now this one you can see the coding. So x test, x train, x test, y train, y test. Okay, so there are four. X train means the training data for x, y train the training data for y, x test the testing data for x, and y test the testing data for y. Okay, so we split it. Okay, train test split, this is the function, and this function is available in which library? This function is available in this here, sklearn dot model selection. There is under sklearn, there is another one which is called model selection. From sklearn and model selection, we are importing this train test split function. Now, what is the parameters of this function? It means we need to means put the values, means x, y, test size 0.2. 0.2 means 20%. Test size 20%. It means learning rate, means the size of learning the model 80%. Okay, automatically if you say test size 0.2, of course the train size should be 0.8. 0.8 means 80%. Okay, now this is the means model linear regression. This is also a function. We just call linear regression like this. Okay, model equal to linear regression. Now we call this function and we save this function as a variable which is called model. Now model dot fit. Now fit is another function. Okay, under this model there is fit is another function. Okay, and which we call with x train and y train, and we predict the test, means y pred is another variable we have created, and we just put here model dot predict x test. Okay, so model dot predict x test means it will create the prediction. Okay, means x test means the testing data of x. We have already selected, we have already split here x test, how many? 20% x data will be kept for the separately kept for the testing. So we will pass the x test data here to predict the values of y, and then we will calculate the accuracies. The r square, r2 score means r square values. Similarly, y test and y predict, we will compare the testing values and the prediction values, means we will compare, then we print the r square, and then we plot the values, means it means that in the scatter plot we plot the means the regression line. Okay, everything. Okay, now there is, you can see only one accuracy score is there, which is called the r square. There is no other accuracy values are there, because only R2 has been imported. So what about the other matrices, RMAC and MAC? In that case, you also have to import RMAC and MAC here. Okay, so therefore that's why we can just say here, modify the above code with MAE, MSE, RMSE, and okay, MSA and RMSE. R square is already there. Okay, now now you can see automatically everything will be same. They just add along with the R square, MAE, MSC, and RMSE. Okay, and these are the plotting. Okay, so I have discussed all of these things, but if you are totally a layman, just you use the prompt. You just need to be sure about your target, what you actually want. You don't need to means all the syntax and everything. If you don't know, that's okay. No need to learn all the syntax and everything. Okay, for your work only, just you need to use the proper GPT prompt, and yes, of course, you have the basic idea of coding, basic idea of the algorithms, and basic idea of the what you are actually going to do, such as linear regression. If you don't know what linear regression is, if you don't know what R square value, what RMSE, and what the error means, what they signify actually, then after generating the code also you don't understand anything actually what is the result. Okay, otherwise the coding means each and every line of the coding, if you don't have that, actually doesn't require to be to understand. Okay, so let me copy this code. Yes, you can run this code from here also if you don't have any kind of platform. Okay, you can run the code from here also. Okay, if you are just click on run, it is first installing the packages, because here the packages are not installed, and then it may also run by itself. Now it is running the code, you can see. Yeah, let me look. Everything is done here. So R square value 0.8, MAE value this, mean squared error value is this one, root mean squared error is also given as this one, and this is the linear regression line, this is the scatter plot. Okay, and everything is given by this code. Okay, but sometimes the code may not run because we are generating the data by itself. If you are not having, you are not supplying the data with your predefined Excel file or CSV file. Okay, so that is why you are generating the data by yourself only, so that is why the code may run here only. Okay, if you want to uh, copy and paste the code in VS Code, that may also run. So I'm copying and pasting it. Okay, now VS Code, there is a very means useful thing here. You can see the colors are changed and everywhere. If something is missing, suppose that you have used, let us suppose I have, by mistake, I have omitted this. Okay, what is the use of hash? Use of hash here to make any kind of code or any kind of line inactive. Okay, just like a comment line. Okay, you are using, or we are using hash here in Python. Okay, now we are means deactivating the library sklearn dot linear model import linear regression. We are deactivating it. So if we deactivate, so which means function is which function came from this particular library? We know that linear regression function was inside the library sklearn dot linear model. So you can see here in this code, linear regression, it is now it is underlined. Okay, with a yellow underlined. Yellow underlined means it is saying that you have called a function which is no library, which is actually undefined. Undefined means you have not called any kind of library to define this function. So now if I look at this, if I just delete the hash, now linear regression again it is active. Color is changed, you can see. Okay, now how to run this code? You can run this code from here in this button. Okay, or you can use the for the debugging, just control F5. If you put control F5, it first says to save the file. So let us suppose ALR linear regression, already there is a file is created. So ALR 1, type as Python. Use the type as Python. Now save it. Okay. Now here after saving it, you can see here you can see something will appear here. Python debugger. Okay. A more node .js option. JS.js means this is a file. MATLAB option and everything. You just need to, since you are running the Python, so you need to use the Python debugger only. So after selecting this, now the terminal will start running the code. Now start execution. Okay, look at this. Now again it appears exactly same. Okay, exactly same as it is. And what is the R square value and other things? You can see the score R square is here, means absolute error is here, mean squared error is like this. Okay, and here it is 0.8085. Yes, everything is written here. Okay, if you're having any doubt with this particular code, now please clear it right now, and you can write down in the chat box if you're having any question. Yes. No, 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 no. In ChatGPT there may be some limit, but if you just make the code and you run the code in your own platform, there will be no limit. As many data as you want, you can. Yes, of course, as you enlarge the data set, of course there will be the execution time will be it may be higher. So if we you are using linear regression, it is a very basic type of learning model. Okay, if you use some more advanced type of learning model, that may be much more time consuming. In that case, you have to use your configuration computer, means a CPU configuration that much advanced, so that to reduce the execution time. Otherwise, sometimes the data set, if you're having a large data set with 10,000 or 50,000 data, and you're using a model like XGBoost with hyperparameter tuning. Okay, so that may take very high time if you don't have that much configuration. So with just one code or one execution, that may take more than 15 to 20 minutes also. Okay, for very large data set. Okay, so that is one problem. So that's why sometimes we may, if you are having a very large number of data set, okay, you should use that model only, which may have the less timing, means less execution time. Okay, so that I will means discuss later. Where, but right now, any other question? Anybody is having any other question? Okay. Now let me introduce how we can, okay, use your own Excel file, okay, to generate. Yes, some other things also we may generate here. It's correlation matrix or correlation heat map you can also generate. Again, we will write the same thing. Okay, add or modify the code with correlation heat map. Since we are using only two data sets, so our correlation heat map will be very small. Only 2 cross 2 matrix will be there. So the problem is every time you run, okay, it's actually installing the package for every runtime. This is the one problem. Yeah. Now see your required R square value, required absolute mean absolute error, required mean squared error is there, linear regression, and this is the correlation heat map it generates. So one because the same variable, dependent variable, and independent variable. So okay, so these two variables is basically the same thing. We are using the two variables, so this is the same thing, of course, will be there. Okay, so correlation heat map, it is a relation with 0.88 is the correlation between the dependent and independent variable, because you are using the only two data is there, one dependent and one independent and nothing else. Okay, so now how can you modify the code now? Now suppose I want to change my learning rate or test size. Let us suppose I am going to test the data, okay, with 70% learning rate, 70% learning size, and the testing size 30%. So I will just change here. This kind of things we can change. So we don't write any prompt here. One time the using the prompt, the code is generated. Now if you know the inside writing or inside formula, okay, easily you can change this one, these parameters, and you can now generate according to you. Okay, you can change the testing size, change the learning size and everything. So let us suppose it is now 0.3, it means 70% learning and 30% testing. Okay, let's see the RMSE and MSE, it will be same or not. Okay, so let's run the code now. Look at this. Remember the previous R square and other values, 0.8, 0.5, 0.6 and 0.8 again. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, let's, yes. This is the second one. Now first one is 0.8072. Now second one 0.8410. Okay, this one also 0.8. I have means just a click two times. Okay, so the first one is 0.8072. Now look at this. Now it is 0.8410. It means the R square value increased if I just change the size of the testing. Okay, testing size, if I change, there is 70% for learning and 20% for, sorry, 30% for testing data. Whether the other values MA and other is changed or not, let me see. 5965, and here also you can see 597363. So mean squared error is slightly reduced here. Okay, whereas um, 6.5 and it is 6.3. Yes. So we can say that our model is increased, means accuracy, model accuracy increased if we use the training, if we change the training and testing data or testing set. Okay. So this is how now correlation heat map will be same because a correlation data will be, of course, we have to use the proper data set there. Okay. So now whether the points are changed or not, the scatter plot, yes, scatter plot also is changed here. You can see the previous scatter plot and the next scatter plot. Somewhere it is also, it's changed. Okay, you can see these points are scattered, more points are there, but here less number of points. Okay, so this is how you can change the according to you. Okay, you can easily change the parameter values and they can generate the according to generate the model according to you. You can change the level of the graphs here. You can see the x level is dependent given as independent variable. You can change the name according to you. You can change the title here. You can change the title here also. Okay, you can change the line width, which is actually, you can change the line color also. Okay, you can change the color of the scatter plot. You can change the label of the scatter plot also. So everything you can modify from this. Once the program is generated, code is generated, you can easily change everything from here. Okay, now we're going to some advanced model. This is for one variable only. Okay, now does it work for two variables or more? I am copying the same code, same prompt, and I'm pasting it here. And I change the prompt a little bit. Generate a code for linear regression with three independent and one dependent variable with all accuracy display. All accuracy display means they will R square, MAE, MAC, everything will be displayed now. Okay. Now another thing, now previous code you can see we have generated some random data here. Okay. So okay, let's generate some random data also. Okay. Now it is generated. Same thing, everything is same. Okay, now one thing I must discuss here, pd.data frame. Okay, how to display the means this one. You can change the code here also. So you can see here three variables I have saved. So x1, x2, and x3. These 300 data are randomly generated. Okay, these three are randomly generated. But y is generated, that is y is our target variable, that is our prediction variable. Y is generated as a linear combination of x1, x2, and x3 with some noise. Noise means some variation, not exactly linear, with some random variation. That is why the rand n is used. Okay, if it is exactly linear relationship, okay, then our r square value must be equal to 1. To vary just to because we are means we ourselves generate the data, we're not using any predefined or any experimental file, excel file. Okay, that is why we have to generate some data with some noise, not exactly linear, otherwise everything, how, what is the meaning of learning and everything. Okay, other everything is same, we are combining here. Okay, x data, we combine the x data, x1, x2, and x3. Okay, without combining also you can do, as we are using x separately, so that is why we have combined this with this function. Okay, h stack. Now again, complete everything is done here. So we train the model, okay, and everything. Now look at this here, R square, MAE, MSE, everything is given. Okay. Now what we can do here, we can't plot the scatter plot here because the number of variable, three independent variables. So for three independent scatter plot, plotting is impossible here. So only the means like scatter plotting and the line, we can't visualize them. But the correlation heat map can be visualized here. Only in this case, we can verify the model by using this matrix. So let's run this. But this it is taking time. Yes, yes. Mhm. Yes, yes. No, no, no. That is not. There may be some mistake in the prompt. Okay. Pandas basically heat map. If you want to generate, okay. So for heat map generation, you can see a simple. Look at this. Yes, SNS. Okay, SNS means it is a seaborn. Is SNS is created, it means seaborn is a library. Okay, if see whoever means the question who asked the question, if using the chat GPT with means the prompt that to generate the heat map, there must be seaborn will be there. Seaborn is a library where we can generate the heat map, that is correlation heat map. We need to call the seaborn library. The seaborn must be there. Okay, must be there means in this coding, seaborn must be there. Okay, you can see that if it is not generated means seaborn is not written. Okay, then in that case, maybe it is skipped somehow. Okay, and uh, generate for after the code generation, let's means please check that whether all the libraries, check the libraries are there. Whatever the libraries are missing, if it is showing that what is the error, please copy and paste the error to the chat GPT itself. Okay, they will show you what is the bug and what are the libraries to for that function. Okay, they will create, they will modify the coding again. The chat GPT itself will modify the coding again. Okay, here if I see, let me stop here because yes, here ChatGPT is not now the ChatGPT is not running. I don't know what is happening. So let's copy the paste this code in VS Studio only. Sorry, VS Code. Okay, and run this code now. Yeah, look at this, it is generated. Okay, I don't know why my means in my computer only I can see this, the numbers of this heat map are not generated. Okay, only the colors are generated, only the first row it is generating the numbers. I don't know why it's only happening in my computer, but others computer the same code is running and with all the numbers inside it, inside the boxes. Okay, so this is the heat map which is rendered now, and I already told you that scatter plot is not possible because our independent variable is more than 2. Okay, so I need to cross it. Now look at this here, the R square value, mean absolute, mean squared error, okay, and root mean square error, everything is given here. Okay, now if some error happens, suppose some bug happens, what kind of bug? Let us deactivate one of the library. Let us suppose I deactivated the Cbond library. Now if I run this, what happens? Yes, you can see, I think this kind of error is showing there. Okay, the name error, SNS is not defined. Is this kind of error came? Name SNS is not defined. If this error is a error came, you just copy this error if you are layman, because I know that SNS is not defined, it means that some library is missing. Okay, but if you're a layman, just copy this. Yes, it's working. Okay, and just copy this message, name SNS is not defined, control C and paste it in the chat GPT itself. Okay, paste it here. Yes, now look at this. It looks like you might missing Cbond library. To fix this, ensure that you have Cbond installed by running. Now you have to run this code now. Pip install Cbond. So pip install Cbond, you need to go to the console, means sorry, you need to go here and go to the terminal, and here you need to use this pip install Cbond. Okay, because Cbond is already installed, I am not going to install it again. Okay, just enter and the Cbond will be installed here. Now let me this one again, deactivate this again. Now the code is running very fine. Yes. Okay, any other question? Okay, so now I have to stop means the session today right now. Okay, so because already the code generation thing I have already discussed. Now it is your turn to generate the code according to yourself, what you want. Just now is ChatGPT is open to you. You have learned what a kind of prompt will be there, and just change your prompt, and as many as program you want to generate, you can generate from here. Okay, next class I will show you how from if it is you are having the so Excel file, how we can install, means you can call the Excel file here, or how Excel file can be means imported here, and how from Excel file you can means form a data frame, and by this data frame you can run any kind of program. Okay, you can manipulate the data, you can means standardize the data. Okay, you can transform the data, you can change the outliers and everything, all kinds of mathematical and other statistical means methods we will explain in the next class. So now it's the turn of the question. Any question is there or not? Okay, okay,
feedbacking link is already active, so they can put the feedback in the respective link, and they can fill up the feedback form. Yeah, as of now, no further questions, sir.
Okay. Okay, then thank you very much and good night.